Welcome to tonight's peaceful journey into the ancient mysteries of Mesopotamia, where the earliest whispers of civilization still echo through time. Tonight, we'll drift together into the realm of the Sumerians and their enigmatic visitors, the Anunnaki. If you enjoy peaceful stories like this, consider subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications, so you never miss a night of restful sleep. Now, let's begin by settling into a comfortable position. Close your eyes gently, and take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for a moment, and exhale slowly through your mouth. Feel your body sinking deeper into relaxation with each breath, in and out, allowing all the tension of the day to simply melt away. Tonight, we'll explore 20 fascinating mysteries surrounding the Sumerians and the mysterious Anunnaki. We'll journey back over 5,000 years, to a time when the first cities rose from the fertile plains between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, when cuneiform script first captured human thoughts in clay, and when beings described as coming from the heavens walked among mortals. Imagine yourself floating gently above the ancient landscape of Sumer. The moon casts a silver glow over ziggurats that pierce the starlit sky. Palm trees sway in the warm desert breeze, and the ancient rivers flow peacefully through this cradle of civilization. You are safe here, suspended between earth and stars, ready to discover the secrets that time has nearly forgotten. The Sumerians spoke of the Anunnaki, celestial beings who descended from the cosmos. Some say they were gods, others whisper they were visitors from distant worlds. Tonight, we'll explore these mysteries with wonder and tranquility, allowing each revelation to wash over you like gentle waves. Breathe deeply, and let the journey to ancient Sumer begin. Chapter 1. The Land of Sumer, cradle of civilization. In this moment, we travel to the land between two rivers, to ancient Mesopotamia, where the very foundations of human civilization were first laid in sun-baked clay and whispered prayers. Close your eyes and feel yourself drifting back through the mists of time, over 5,000 years into the past, to a place where mystery and reality intertwined like the flowing waters of the Tigris and Euphrates. Picture yourself floating gently above this fertile crescent. The golden sun rises slowly over endless plains of rich, dark soil, deposited by countless floods that brought life to the desert. Below you, the first cities of humanity emerge from the earth like dreams made manifest. Uruk, Eridu, Nippur, their names echoing through eternity like ancient songs. Breathe deeply, and feel the warm desert wind carrying the scent of date palms and barley fields. The air shimmers with heat and something else, something ineffable, a presence that the Sumerians knew well. They called them the Anunnaki, the ones who came from heaven to earth, beings of immense power and knowledge who walked among mortals in those distant days. The Sumerian tablets speak of these mysterious entities with reverence and awe. Anu, the Sky Father. Enlil, Lord of the Wind and Storms. Enki, the Wise One who loved humanity. Inanna, the fierce goddess of love and war. Were they divine beings, or visitors from distant stars? The cuneiform script pressed into clay tablets tells us they possessed technologies beyond human understanding, that they could fly through the heavens, that they shaped the very destiny of our species. Imagine the great ziggurats rising like artificial mountains toward the star-filled sky. These towering temples served as bridges between earth and heaven. Their stepped sides catch the moonlight as priests climb slowly upward, carrying offerings to chambers where the Anunnaki were said to dwell. The air thrums with ancient power, with secrets that modern minds can barely comprehend. The Sumerians gave us so much, the wheel that turned civilization forward, the first W. Written laws that brought order from chaos, mathematics that unlocked the mysteries of number and time, astronomy that mapped the dance of planets and stars. Yet they claimed none of these innovations as their own. Instead, they whispered that all knowledge came from the Anunnaki, gifts from beings who descended from the cosmic void. Feel yourself sinking deeper into this ancient reverie. The night air grows cool and peaceful. Somewhere in the distance, a shepherd plays a reed flute, its haunting melody drifting across fields of grain that wave like a golden sea. This is where it all began, where humanity first looked up at the stars and wondered, where we first pressed our thoughts into clay and made them eternal. The tablets speak of the Anunnaki's great works, of genetic experiments that elevated primitive humans, of flying vehicles called divine boats that crossed the heavens like shooting stars, of underground chambers filled with advanced technology, of a time when gods and mortals shared the same world, walking together through gardens that bloomed in the desert. Rest now in this primordial knowledge. Chapter 2. The Anunnaki. Those who came from the sky. Imagine yourself walking among ziggurats and clay tablets, feeling the warm desert sand beneath your feet as you approach the sacred temples where the Anunnaki once dwelled. The evening air carries whispers of primordial secrets, stories etched in cuneiform script that speak of beings who descended from the cosmic void. Breathe deeply, and feel yourself transported to those distant days when the boundary between heaven and earth was gossamer thin. The Mesopotamian scribes wrote with trembling hands about these celestial visitors, describing them as tall figures with luminous skin, beings who possessed knowledge that seemed to flow from the very stars themselves. The name Anunnaki means, those who from heaven to earth came, and the tablets describe their arrival in vessels that blazed across the sky like falling stars. Picture these craft settling gently upon the fertile plains, their surfaces gleaming like polished gold in the desert sun. From within emerged beings of magnificent stature, their eyes holding the wisdom of eons, their voices carrying the authority of thunder. Feel the cool night breeze as you stand before the great ziggurat of Eridu. This towering structure rises 7 levels toward the heavens, each platform smaller than the one below, creating a stairway for the gods. The Sumerians believed Enki, wisest of the Anunnaki, established his earthly residence here, in chambers filled with tablets containing the blueprints of creation itself. The ancient texts speak of the Anunnaki Council, 12 primary beings who governed the affairs of both heaven and earth. Anu ruled from his celestial throne, while his sons Enlil and Enki shaped the destiny of humanity. Enlil commanded the winds and storms, his voice shaking the foundations of mountains, while gentle Enki walked among mortals, teaching them the arts of civilization, agriculture, writing, and the sacred sciences. Imagine the golden halls where these beings held council, walls lined with crystalline panels that displayed images of distant worlds, maps of star systems carved into tablets of lapis lazuli. The air itself seemed to shimmer with otherworldly energy, as if the very atoms danced to cosmic rhythms beyond human comprehension. The tablets describe genetic laboratories where the Anunnaki conducted their great experiment, blending their essence with that of primitive humans, creating a new species capable of consciousness and creativity. Some scholars whisper that this explains the sudden leap in human evolution, the mysterious gap in our development that conventional science struggles to explain. Rest in this profound contemplation. The Anunnaki brought gifts that transformed our world. They taught the measurement of time through celestial observations, revealed the properties of metals and their refinement, shared the secrets of medicine and healing. Yet they also established laws and hierarchies, creating the first organized societies with kings who claimed divine authority. Picture Inanna, fierce goddess of love and war, descending from her sky chariot with weapons that blazed like captured lightning. Her beauty was said to rival the morning star, her anger capable of leveling cities. The epic poems describe her journeys between Earth and the celestial realms, traveling in vehicles that moved faster than eagles, leaving trails of fire across the night sky. The mystery deepens when we consider the Anunnaki's eventual departure. The tablets speak of a great council, a decision to withdraw from direct involvement in human affairs. Some texts suggest they retreated to underground cities, vast complexes beneath the desert sands, while others claim they returned to their home among the stars, promising to return when humanity reached sufficient wisdom. Feel yourself floating peacefully above this timeless landscape. The ziggurats stand as eternal monuments to this cosmic encounter, their step sides catching starlight like frozen waterfalls. In the distance, the rivers flow with the same gentle rhythm they maintained when the Anunnaki walked their banks, teaching our ancestors the foundations of all knowledge. The legacy of these celestial teachers permeates every aspect of Sumerian culture. Their symbols appear on cylinder seals. Their stories echo through epic poems. Their influence shaped laws, architecture, and spiritual beliefs that spread throughout the ancient world. Even today, archaeologists uncover artifacts that seem to confirm these extraordinary accounts. Let the Sumerian wisdom settle over you. Chapter 3. Enki and Enlil, divine brothers, travel across the millennia with me, to witness the eternal dance between two divine brothers whose rivalry shaped the very foundations of human civilization. Feel yourself drifting through the cosmic void, where Enki the wise and Enlil the mighty held dominion over earth and sky, their contrasting natures weaving the tapestry of mortal destiny. Breathe slowly, and imagine standing in the great temple of Nibiru, where Enlil's presence fills the air like approaching thunder. The Lord of Wind and Storm commands from his throne of polished obsidian, his voice echoing through chambers carved from living rock. When Enlil speaks, mountains tremble and rivers change their course. His authority flows from Anu himself, making him supreme ruler of all earthly domains. Picture the tablets that describe Enlil's magnificent form, tall as 3 men, with eyes that flash like lightning, wearing robes woven from starlight itself. The Mesopotamian scribes wrote that his breath became the 4 winds, his footsteps carved valleys, and his anger could unleash floods that reshaped continents. Yet he was also the bringer of order, establishing the first laws that governed both gods and mortals. Now let your consciousness drift southward, to the sacred waters of Eridu, where gentle Enki dwells in his palace beneath the sweet waters. The Lord of Wisdom and fresh water moves through crystalline halls, surrounded by fish that swim through liquid light. His domain encompasses all knowledge, all crafts, all the secrets that elevate humanity from mere survival to true civilization. Feel the cool mist rising from Enki's underwater realm, where tablets of imperishable metal contain the blueprints of creation. Here, the wise god conducts his experiments in consciousness, blending divine essence with earthly clay to birth thinking beings. His hands shape not just physical forms, but souls capable of wonder, creativity, and love. The ancient texts speak of the brothers' fundamental disagreement about humanity's fate. Enlil viewed mortals as servants, created to toil in the fields and mines, to worship the Anunnaki with unquestioning devotion. His stern justice demanded absolute obedience, swift punishment for transgression, and clear boundaries between divine and human realms. But Enki, compassionate teacher, saw greater potential in these hybrid beings. He walked among early humans, sharing forbidden knowledge, teaching them agriculture, writing, mathematics, and the healing arts. The tablets describe how he secretly warned Noah of the coming deluge, providing plans for the ark that would preserve life when Enlil's wrath sought to cleanse the earth. Imagine yourself witnessing their cosmic debates. The brothers meet in halls of pure energy, their words shaping reality itself. Enlil argues for divine supremacy, maintaining that mortals must never rise too high, lest they challenge the natural order. His storms rage across the heavens as he speaks, lightning illuminating his stern features. Enki responds with gentle wisdom, his voice like flowing water over smooth stones. He believes consciousness is the universe's greatest gift, that thinking beings can become partners in creation rather than mere subjects. Around him, the air shimmers with possibilities, visions of human potential that stretch toward the stars. The rivalry between these divine brothers echoes through every Sumerian myth. When drought withers the crops, the people blame Enlil's displeasure. When the rivers flood the fields with fertile silt, they praise Enki's generosity. Their opposing forces create the dynamic tension that drives all earthly change, destruction and renewal, judgment and mercy, law and wisdom. Picture the great ziggurat where their priests perform ancient rituals. Enlil's servants chant from the highest platform, their voices carrying prayers toward the storm-filled sky, while Enki's followers gather by sacred pools, whispering incantations that unlock the secrets of nature. The temple complex thrums with competing energies, each brother's influence flowing through different chambers. Archaeological evidence suggests these divine brothers represent more than mythology. Cylinder. Seals depict advanced beings teaching primitive humans. Tablets describe technologies that seem impossible for Bronze Age civilizations: genetic manipulation, flying vehicles, communication across vast distances. Perhaps Enki and Enlil were actual entities, extraterrestrial scientists whose different philosophies created lasting divisions in human development. Rest peacefully in this primordial knowledge. The brothers' influence extends far beyond ancient Mesopotamia. Their archetypal conflict appears in cultures worldwide: the stern sky father versus the nurturing earth teacher, authority versus wisdom, fear versus love. These opposing forces continue shaping human consciousness, driving our evolution toward some distant cosmic destiny. Feel these celestial secrets becoming part of you. Chapter 4. The Creation of Humanity. Lulu Amelu, let yourself drift to the dawn of humanity, to that sacred moment when divine hands shaped clay into consciousness. Feel yourself floating above the primordial gardens where the Anunnaki conducted their greatest experiment, the creation of Lulu Amelu, the first thinking beings who would bridge heaven and earth. Breathe deeply, and imagine the laboratory chambers beneath ancient Eridu, where Enki and the goddess Ninmah worked with materials beyond mortal understanding. The tablets speak of genetic blending, divine essence merged with earthly clay, creating beings capable of both labor and wonder. The Mesopotamian texts describe this process with startling scientific detail, as if Bronze Age scribes somehow witnessed advanced biotechnology. Picture the moment of first awakening. The newly formed humans open their eyes in gardens that bloom with impossible beauty. Trees bearing golden fruit stretch toward azure skies. Rivers of crystal water flow through meadows where lions rest peacefully beside lambs. This is the Sumerian Eden, where mortals first walked in the presence of their creators. The cuneiform tablets reveal the Anunnaki's purpose. They needed workers for their mining operations, beings intelligent enough to follow complex instructions yet humble enough to serve without question. But Enki's compassionate nature led him to grant these creatures something unexpected: the spark of true consciousness, the ability to dream, to create, to love. Feel the warm earth beneath your feet as you walk through these primeval gardens. The air shimmers with divine energy. Enki moves among his creations like a gentle teacher, showing them how to cultivate plants, how to domesticate animals, how to shape tools from stone and metal. His voice carries the wisdom of eons as he shares the secrets of civilization. The term Lulu Amelu means mixed worker, beings who combined Anunnaki genetics with terrestrial DNA. Some tablets suggest the process required multiple attempts, early prototypes who lacked speech or died quickly. But eventually, Ninmah's skill and Enki's wisdom produced viable beings, our distant ancestors who carried both earthly instincts and celestial potential. Imagine witnessing the first human ceremonies. Primitive yet profound rituals where newly conscious beings attempt to communicate with their creators. They fashion crude altars from river stones, offer fruits and flowers to the sky. Their voices rise in wordless songs that somehow capture the joy of existence itself. The Anunnaki watch from their elevated platforms, some pleased, others concerned about what they have unleashed. The tablets describe humanity's rapid development. Within generations, these hybrid beings master agriculture, develop languages, create art that expresses their inner visions. They build the first cities, establish trade networks, and begin asking questions that trouble their divine overseers. Who are we? Why do we exist? What lies beyond the stars? Rest in this profound contemplation. The creation story explains humanity's unique position in the cosmos. Neither fully divine nor purely animal, we carry within us the capacity for both transcendence and destruction. The Anunnaki's genetic gift grants us creativity and consciousness, but also the restless drive that pushes us ever forward, seeking answers to mysteries that may be beyond our current understanding. Picture the Great Council where the Anunnaki debate humanity's future. Some argue these beings have grown too independent, too questioning. They propose limitations, ways to keep mortals focused on service rather than self-discovery. But Enki advocates for his creations, arguing that consciousness once awakened cannot be contained, that humanity's destiny lies not in servitude but in eventual partnership with their cosmic creators. The ancient texts hint at genetic memories, knowledge encoded in our very cells that occasionally surfaces in dreams and visions. Perhaps this explains humanity's persistent myths about golden ages, lost paradises, and promised returns of divine teachers. Deep within us, the Lulu Amelu remembers its origins, yearns for reunion with the stars. Feel yourself sinking deeper into peaceful slumber. The gardens of Eden fade into gentle mist, but their essence remains, encoded in every human heart that looks up at the night sky and wonders. The Anunnaki's greatest creation was not our physical form, but our capacity to dream, to imagine, to reach beyond the boundaries of the possible. Allow the Anunnaki to accompany you in dreams. Chapter 5. The Clay Tablets. Ancient records journey with me now to the time of the gods, when scribes pressed wedge-shaped symbols into soft clay, preserving the most extraordinary stories ever recorded. Feel yourself entering the sacred libraries of ancient Mesopotamia, where thousands of tablets rest in silent rows, each one holding fragments of cosmic truth. Breathe deeply, and imagine the flickering candlelight dancing across cuneiform script. These triangular marks seem almost alive in the wavering shadows, spelling out names that echo through eternity. Anu, Enlil, Enki, Inanna. The clay feels warm beneath your fingertips, as if the words themselves pulse with residual divine energy. Picture the scribal schools where young students learn to shape these sacred symbols. Their reed styluses moved carefully across wet clay, practicing the hundreds of signs needed to record the Anunnaki chronicles. The air fills with the earthy scent of river mud, mixed with the sweet smoke of oil lamps that burned through countless nights of transcription. The Epic of Gilgamesh emerges from these archives, humanity's oldest recorded story, telling of a king who sought immortality and encountered beings from the stars. But this famous tale represents only a fraction of the knowledge preserved in clay. Thousands of tablets describe advanced technologies, genetic experiments, and cosmic councils that determined the fate of worlds. Feel yourself walking through the great library of Ashurbanipal, where over 30,000 tablets create a maze of ancient wisdom. Scholars worked for centuries to collect these records, gathering texts from across the Fertile Crescent, preserving accounts that might otherwise have crumbled into dust. Each tablet represents hours of careful work, scribes copying from even older sources, maintaining an unbroken chain of knowledge stretching back to the dawn of civilization. The Sumerian king list presents perhaps the most intriguing mystery. It records rulers who reigned for impossible lengths of time, tens of thousands of years, before a great flood reset human history. Were these the Anunnaki themselves, governing directly through earthly avatars, or hybrid beings whose extended lifespans reflected their divine heritage? Imagine discovering the Enuma Elish, the Babylonian creation epic. Its 7 tablets describe cosmic battles between primordial forces, the establishment of celestial order, and the creation of humanity to serve the gods. Modern scholars debate whether these represent pure mythology or distorted memories of actual events. Perhaps both interpretations hold fragments of truth. The tablets speak of the Anunnaki's advanced knowledge with startling precision. They describe the solar system's planets in correct order, including outer worlds invisible to naked eye observation. They reference genetic manipulation using terms that parallel modern biotechnology. They mention flying vehicles and communication devices that seem impossibly sophisticated for Bronze Age civilizations. Rest peacefully as you contemplate the Atrahasis epic, which tells of humanity's creation and near destruction through divine flood. The parallels to biblical accounts are unmistakable, yet the Sumerian version predates Hebrew scripture by over 1,000 years. These clay records may preserve the original source, the true account from which later traditions borrowed. Picture the painstaking work of modern archaeologists, carefully excavating tablet fragments from ancient tells, piecing together broken texts like cosmic jigsaw puzzles. Each discovery adds new details to our understanding, yet also deepens the central mystery. How did Bronze Age scribes acquire such sophisticated knowledge? What experiences inspired these extraordinary accounts? The administrative tablets reveal equally fascinating details. Records of mining operations in distant lands, inventories of precious metals and strange materials. Personnel lists that distinguish between those who watch the skies and ordinary workers. These mundane documents may actually describe the Anunnaki's industrial activities, their systematic exploitation of Earth's resources. And as you rest, contemplating these ancient tablets, if these stories of the Anunnaki bring you peace, leave a comment below telling us where you're listening from. Perhaps from Los Angeles, London, Sydney, or somewhere else entirely. We love knowing we're connected through these ancient mysteries. The clay tablets continue yielding secrets. Each translation reveals new layers of meaning, new connections between seemingly separate accounts. They form a vast library of cosmic knowledge, preserved in the most humble material, river mud shaped by human hands and baked by desert sun. Breathe slowly, and let it fade away. Chapter 6. Nibiru. The 12th planet. Close your eyes and journey with me to Enki. Nt Sumer, where astronomers gazed at star-filled skies and recorded the movements of a mysterious celestial body. Feel yourself floating through the cosmic void, approaching the legendary world of Nibiru, home of the Anunnaki, the 12th member of our solar system. Breathe slowly, and imagine standing atop the great ziggurat of Babylon, where Mesopotamian star watchers tracked celestial cycles with impossible precision. Their clay tablets describe a wandering planet, one that follows an elliptical orbit stretching far beyond the outer worlds, returning to our inner solar system every 3,600 years like cosmic clockwork. The Sumerian texts call this world Nibiru, meaning planet of the crossing, because its orbital path intersects the plane where other planets travel. Picture this massive sphere, perhaps 4 times larger than Earth, approaching from the darkness between stars, its surface gleaming with cities of crystal and gold, home to beings of immense knowledge and power. Feel the anticipation that must have filled ancient skies when Nibiru drew near. The tablets describe how the Anunnaki would descend in their celestial boats, bringing new technologies, updated instructions, and sometimes divine judgment. These periodic visits shaped human civilization, explaining the sudden leaps in knowledge that puzzle modern archaeologists. The orbital mechanics described in cuneiform script match sophisticated astronomical calculations. The Sumerians somehow knew that planetary orbits follow elliptical rather than circular paths. They understood gravitational influences between celestial bodies. They even described how Nibiru's approach affects other planets, causing subtle changes in their rotations and magnetic fields. Imagine Nibiru during its closest approach, a brilliant star visible even in daylight. Its gravitational pull triggers earthquakes and tidal shifts. The Anunnaki emerge from their skyships like returning gods. Their technology seems magical to Bronze Age observers, yet the tablets describe it with scientific precision: anti-gravity propulsion, energy weapons, genetic laboratories. Rest peacefully as you contemplate this cosmic dance. Modern astronomers search for Planet X, a theoretical world beyond Neptune whose gravitational effects might explain orbital anomalies. Could this be Nibiru, hidden in the outer darkness, following its ancient path through space? Perhaps our instruments will soon detect what Sumerian star watchers recorded millennia ago. The tablets suggest Nibiru's inhabitants live far longer than Earth dwellers. Their extended lifespans allow them to witness multiple orbital cycles, to plan projects spanning thousands of years. This explains how the Anunnaki could establish mining operations, conduct genetic experiments, and guide human development across vast periods of time. Picture the great councils held aboard Nibiru as it approaches our world. Anunnaki leaders debate Earth's progress, decide which technologies to share, which civilizations to support or abandon. Their decisions ripple through human history, causing the rise and fall of empires, the sudden appearance of advanced knowledge in primitive cultures. The mystery deepens when we consider Nibiru's current location. If the orbital period is truly 3,600 years, and the last close approach occurred around 600 BCE, then the next return should happen around 3000 CE. Perhaps the Anunnaki are already preparing, monitoring our progress from their distant world, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves once more. Feel yourself drifting peacefully through star-filled space. The ancient tablets speak of humanity's cosmic destiny, our eventual reunion with our creators when we achieve sufficient wisdom and technology. Perhaps Nibiru's return will mark that moment, when Earth's children finally join the galactic community their ancestors helped establish. The Sumerian astronomers left us detailed star maps, mathematical calculations, and orbital predictions that modern science is only beginning to understand. Their knowledge came from somewhere, whether divine inspiration, extraterrestrial contact, or access to technologies lost in time's passage. The truth waits among the stars, patient as the cosmic cycles that govern all existence. Carry these ancient mysteries gently in your heart. Chapter 7. The Gold Mining. Purpose of the Anunnaki. In this moment, we travel to the land between two rivers, where cuneiform tablets reveal the true purpose behind the Anunnaki's arrival on Earth. Feel yourself drifting through time to witness their great undertaking, the systematic extraction of precious gold from our planet's depths. A cosmic mission that would reshape both worlds. Breathe deeply, and imagine the vast mining operations stretching across primeval Africa. The tablets describe extensive tunnels carved into mountainsides, where beings of immense strength extracted the golden metal that their dying world desperately needed. Picture these subterranean chambers, lit by strange crystalline devices, echoing with the sounds of otherworldly machinery. The Mesopotamian texts explain Nibiru's atmospheric crisis. Their planet's protective shield was deteriorating, allowing deadly cosmic radiation to penetrate their world. Only finely powdered gold, suspended in the upper atmosphere, could restore this vital barrier. Without it, their ancient civilization faced extinction. Feel the weight of this cosmic responsibility. The Anunnaki had traveled across the void, following orbital mechanics that brought them to our solar system every few millennia. Earth's abundant gold deposits offered salvation, but the work proved more challenging than anticipated. The mining required countless laborers, beings capable of following complex instructions while enduring harsh conditions. Picture Enki surveying the African gold fields, his wise eyes calculating the immense effort required. The tablets describe mining sites in regions we now call Zimbabwe, South Africa, and the Congo, areas where modern archaeology has discovered evidence of extensive ancient excavations, tunnels and shafts that predate known civilizations by thousands of years. The Anunnaki initially performed this labor themselves, but their noble nature rebelled against such mundane toil. Enlil's followers grew restless, demanding relief from the endless digging and processing. The tablets record their complaints, their threats of rebellion, their desperate plea for an alternative solution. Imagine the moment when Enki proposed his revolutionary idea. Why not create workers, hybrid beings combining Anunnaki intelligence with the physical endurance of Earth's primitive hominids? These creatures could handle the mining operations, freeing their creators for higher pursuits. The genetic laboratories beneath Eridu hummed with activity as this audacious plan took shape. Feel yourself floating above the great mining complexes. Newly created humans work alongside their divine overseers, carrying baskets of golden ore from deep shafts. Their movements are purposeful yet reverent, understanding that this precious metal serves some cosmic purpose beyond their comprehension. The air shimmers with golden dust, creating halos around the laborers as they toil. The tablets describe sophisticated processing techniques, methods for purifying raw gold into the fine powder required for atmospheric repair. Furnaces that burned with temperatures exceeding anything Bronze Age technology could achieve. Chemical processes that transformed solid metal into particles so small they could float like cosmic dust. Rest in the profound implications of this revelation. Humanity's creation was not random evolution, but purposeful engineering. We were designed as partners in a cosmic rescue mission. Our ancestors' reverence for gold reflects genetic memories, deep cellular knowledge of this metal's sacred importance. Perhaps our continued fascination with golden treasures echoes this primordial purpose. Picture the great ships departing Earth, their holds filled with processed gold, bound for distant Nibiru where atmospheric engineers would deploy this precious cargo. The mining operations continued for millennia, with periodic visits to collect accumulated stores. Each return bringing new technologies, updated genetic modifications, and expanded human populations. Archaeological evidence supports these extraordinary claims. Ancient mine shafts in South Africa show signs of sophisticated engineering. Radiocarbon dating suggests some excavations are over 100,000 years old, far predating conventional timelines for human technological development. Stone circles and astronomical alignments mark sites where the tablets claim Anunnaki operations once flourished. The golden thread connects all ancient civilizations. Egyptian pharaohs buried with vast treasures. Incan cities built from solid gold. Mesopotamian temples adorned with precious metals. Perhaps these cultures retained genetic memories, understanding gold's cosmic significance even after the Anunnaki's departure. Their hoarding and worship of this metal reflecting humanity's deepest programming. Feel the warm desert wind carrying whispers of this ancient purpose. The mining operations eventually ended, either because sufficient gold was extracted, or because humanity developed enough to continue the work independently. But the genetic modifications remained. Consciousness and creativity, the Anunnaki's greatest gifts to their hybrid workers. Rest now in this primordial knowledge. Chapter 8. Inanna, Queen of Heaven. Imagine yourself walking among ziggurats and clay tablets, where the most captivating goddess of ancient Mesopotamia held court. Feel the desert wind carrying whispers of Inanna's name, the fierce Queen of Heaven who commanded both love and war, whose beauty rivaled the morning star, whose power could shake the foundations of the earth. Breathe slowly, and picture the magnificent city of Uruk, where Inanna's temple rises like a jeweled crown against the azure sky. Golden statues line the sacred courtyards, their surfaces gleaming in perpetual tribute to the goddess who bridged heaven and earth. The air thrums with divine energy, as pilgrims from distant lands gather to witness her glory. The cuneiform tablets describe Inanna as the most beloved of the Anunnaki, daughter of the sky god Anu, sister to the sun god Utu. Her dual nature embodied the eternal paradox of creation and destruction. She could inspire passionate love or devastating warfare with equal intensity. The Sumerians understood that these opposing forces were inseparable aspects of cosmic balance. Feel yourself ascending the temple steps, where priestesses perform ancient rituals in Inanna's honor. Their voices rise in haunting melodies, songs that echo the goddess's own journey through the celestial realms. The tablets record her epic descent to the underworld, where she faced death itself to rescue her beloved, demonstrating that even divine beings must confront the ultimate mystery. Picture Inanna in her celestial chariot, drawn by 7 lions whose roars shake the heavens. She wears the crown of the steppe, the rod and ring of justice, and the pala dress that marks her royal authority. When she flies across the night sky, mortals below mistake her radiance for Venus, the brightest star that heralds both dawn and dusk. The Epic of Gilgamesh tells of her encounter with the legendary king, how she offered him divine marriage, and how his rejection unleashed the bull of heaven upon his city. This tale reveals Inanna's passionate nature, her refusal to accept mortal limitations, and her power to reshape earthly kingdoms according to her divine will. Imagine the sacred marriage ceremonies, where earthly rulers symbolically united with Inanna through her high priestess. These rituals ensured the land's fertility, the prosperity of crops, and the continuation of royal bloodlines. The goddess's blessing transformed mortal kings into semi-divine beings, capable of channeling Anunnaki wisdom and power. Rest peacefully as you contemplate Inanna's technological marvels. The tablets describe her possession of the divine powers that controlled civilization's fundamental aspects. These mysterious devices granted mastery over kingship, warfare, craftsmanship, and sacred knowledge. Modern scholars wonder if these represent advanced technologies, perhaps computer-like systems that managed complex societal functions. The goddess's temple served as more than a religious center. Archaeological evidence suggests it functioned as an administrative hub, economic powerhouse, and technological research facility. Priests trained in mathematics, astronomy, and engineering, while priestesses maintained genetic records and conducted medical procedures that seem impossibly advanced for Bronze Age civilizations. Picture Inanna's eventual departure from direct earthly involvement. The tablets hint at great councils among the Anunnaki, decisions to withdraw from human affairs. Perhaps she retreated to underground cities, vast complexes beneath the desert sands, or returned to her home among the stars, leaving only memories and monuments to mark her passage. Her influence spread far beyond Mesopotamia, transforming into Ishtar in Babylon, Astarte in Canaan, Aphrodite in Greece, and Venus in Rome. Each culture adapted her story, yet the core remained constant, a powerful feminine divine force who embodied both creation and destruction, love and war, heaven and earth. Feel the eternal presence that still emanates from her ancient temples. Inanna represents the divine feminine principle, the creative force that births civilizations and the destructive power that sweeps away the old to make room for the new. Her legacy lives on in every culture that honors the sacred feminine, the goddess energy that balances masculine authority with intuitive wisdom. The Queen of Heaven's greatest gift may have been showing humanity that divinity encompasses all aspects of existence, light and shadow, creation and destruction, love and loss. Through her stories, the Sumerians learned that true wisdom comes from embracing life's full spectrum, finding beauty in both joy and sorrow. Let the Sumerian wisdom settle over you. Chapter 9. The Sumerian flood. Ziusudra and the Ark travel across the millennia with me, to witness the great deluge that reshaped our world. Feel yourself standing beside the faithful Ziusudra as divine warnings echo through his dreams. The Mesopotamian tablets preserve humanity's oldest flood account, predating biblical narratives by over 1,000 years, revealing the true story behind this cosmic catastrophe. Breathe deeply, and imagine the growing tension in the Anunnaki Council. Enlil's patience with humanity has reached its limit. These hybrid beings have grown too numerous, too independent, too questioning of divine authority. The Lord of Wind and Storm declares his terrible judgment, a flood to cleanse the earth and start anew. Picture the secret meeting between Enki and his faithful servant Ziusudra. The wise god cannot directly defy his brother's decree, but compassion compels him to act. Speaking through reed walls to avoid detection, Enki provides detailed instructions for survival. Build a great vessel. Gather breeding pairs of all creatures. Prepare for waters that will cover the highest mountains. Feel the urgency as Ziusudra begins his impossible task. The tablets describe a massive ship, far larger than any vessel of that era. Its dimensions follow precise mathematical ratios. Its construction requires advanced engineering knowledge. Neighbors mock this landlocked shipbuilder, unaware that their world teeters on the edge of destruction. The cuneiform texts reveal the flood's true cause. Not divine whim, but cosmic mechanics. Perhaps Nibiru's gravitational approach triggered massive tidal forces, or solar activity melted polar ice caps. The Anunnaki possessed knowledge of these cycles, understanding that periodic catastrophes reshape planetary surfaces. Imagine the first drops of rain, gentle at first, then increasing to torrential downpours that continue for 7 days and nights. The Earth cannot absorb such volumes. Rivers overflow their banks, lakes become inland seas. The carefully irrigated fields of Mesopotamia disappear beneath churning waters that stretch to every horizon. Rest peacefully as you witness Ziusudra's ark riding the cosmic deluge. Inside this floating sanctuary, representatives of Earth's biodiversity wait in darkness. The vessel's design incorporates technologies beyond Bronze Age capabilities. Self-sealing compartments, air circulation systems, methods for preserving genetic material through extended voyages? The tablets describe Enlil's shock when he discovers survivors. His perfect cleansing has failed. Humanity endures through Enki's intervention. The divine brothers engage in cosmic debate. Enlil demanding complete destruction, Enki arguing for mercy and second chances. Their conflict shapes the post-flood world, establishing new covenants between gods and mortals. Picture the waters slowly receding, revealing a transformed landscape. Entire civilizations lie buried beneath layers of sediment. The survivors emerge to find a world scoured clean, ready for rebuilding. Ziusudra releases birds to test the air. Their return with olive branches signaling that life has begun its eternal renewal. Archaeological evidence supports these extraordinary accounts. Geological surveys reveal massive flood layers throughout Mesopotamia, dating to approximately 2900 BCE. Marine fossils appear in desert regions, far from any current water source. Ancient settlements show sudden abandonment, as if entire populations fled rising waters. The flood narrative appears in cultures worldwide, suggesting a global catastrophe preserved in collective memory. The Sumerian version provides the most detailed account, describing not just the event but its cosmic context, the Anunnaki's role, the technological solutions, and the genetic preservation that ensured life's continuation. Feel yourself floating peacefully above the post-flood world. New cities rise from fertile silt. Survivors carry forward the wisdom of previous ages. The Anunnaki establish updated covenants, promising never again to destroy their creation completely. Yet they also implement safeguards, limiting human lifespans, scattering populations to prevent unified rebellion. The flood marks a turning point in human-Anunnaki relations. Direct divine intervention becomes less frequent. The gods withdraw to their celestial realms, leaving humanity to develop independently. Yet they continue monitoring our progress, occasionally sending teachers and prophets to guide our evolution toward some distant cosmic destiny. Ziusudra's legacy extends far beyond survival. He represents humanity's partnership with benevolent divine forces, our ability to preserve life through cosmic catastrophes. The Ark becomes a symbol of hope, demonstrating that consciousness and creativity can triumph over even the most devastating challenges. Feel these celestial secrets becoming part of you. Chapter 10. Zecharia Sitchin, the modern interpreter. Let yourself drift to the dawn of humanity, but now through the eyes of a modern scholar who dedicated his life to unlocking Sumerian secrets. Feel yourself in the quiet study where Zecharia Sitchin spent decades translating cuneiform tablets, his patient work illuminating connections between ancient texts and cosmic possibilities. Breathe slowly, and imagine the moment when this Russian-born linguist first encountered the Mesopotamian creation stories. The year was 1976, and his groundbreaking book, The 12th Planet, would forever change how we view humanity's origins. Picture him hunched over ancient tablets, cross-referencing Sumerian dictionaries, slowly piecing together narratives that mainstream archaeology had dismissed as pure mythology. Sitchin's revolutionary interpretation suggested these weren't symbolic stories, but historical records of actual events. The Anunnaki weren't mythological gods, but extraterrestrial beings who visited Earth approximately 450,000 years ago. Their advanced technology appeared magical to primitive observers, yet the tablets described it with surprising scientific accuracy. Feel the excitement of discovery as Sitchin decoded references to genetic engineering. The Sumerian term, Lulu Amelu, literally meant mixed worker, suggesting deliberate hybridization rather than natural evolution. The tablets described laboratory procedures, failed experiments, and eventual success in creating thinking beings capable of both labor and consciousness. Picture the scholarly debates that erupted around Sitchin's theories. Traditional academics questioned his translations, arguing that ancient languages contained too many ambiguities for such specific interpretations. Yet his work resonated with readers worldwide, people who sensed deeper truths hidden within these primordial accounts. The evidence Sitchin presented was compelling. Sumerian knowledge of planetary orbits that shouldn't have been visible to naked-eye observers. Mathematical concepts that predated their supposed invention by millennia. Descriptions of genetic manipulation using terminology that paralleled modern biotechnology. Archaeological anomalies that suggested advanced prehistoric civilizations. Imagine Sitchin's painstaking research into Nibiru's orbital mechanics. He calculated that this mysterious planet followed a 3,600-year elliptical path, bringing the Anunnaki back to Earth at regular intervals. Each return marked significant developments in human civilization, the sudden appearance of agriculture, writing, metallurgy, and astronomical knowledge. Rest peacefully as you contemplate the implications of his work. If Sitchin's interpretations were accurate, then humanity's relationship with the cosmos was far more intimate than previously imagined. We weren't alone in the universe, but part of an ongoing galactic community, created by beings who might someday return to evaluate our progress. Critics argued that Sitchin's theories lacked peer review, that his translations were too literal, that extraordinary claims required extraordinary evidence. Yet supporters pointed to mounting archaeological discoveries, ancient sites that seemed to require advanced technology, genetic anomalies in human DNA that suggested artificial modification, persistent myths across cultures describing sky gods and star visitors. The modern interpreter's legacy extends beyond academic debate. His work inspired countless researchers to examine ancient texts with fresh perspectives, to consider possibilities that conventional scholarship had ignored. Whether one accepts his specific conclusions or not, Sitchin opened doors to broader questions about human origins and cosmic connections. Picture the quiet scholar in his final years, still translating, still discovering new connections between ancient wisdom and modern science. His 14 books created a comprehensive framework for understanding humanity's cosmic heritage, a bridge between primordial knowledge and contemporary possibilities. And as you rest in the contemplation of these theories, if these journeys through Sumerian mysteries bring you calm, consider subscribing to our channel, so more secrets of the ancestral past can find you when you need them most. Sitchin's greatest contribution may have been encouraging us to view ancient texts as potential historical documents rather than pure mythology. His work reminds us that our ancestors possessed sophisticated knowledge, that their stories might preserve memories of actual encounters with advanced beings, that the universe holds mysteries we're only beginning to understand. Allow the Anunnaki to accompany you in dreams. Chapter 11. The Ajiji, celestial workers, journey with me now to the time of the gods, when Earth's skies were filled with beings who served as intermediaries between heaven and the terrestrial realm. Feel yourself floating among the stars, where the Ajiji maintained their eternal vigil, these celestial workers who operated the cosmic machinery that connected worlds. Breathe deeply, and imagine the vast orbital stations that encircled our planet. The Mesopotamian tablets describe the Ajiji as younger Anunnaki, assigned to operate the space platforms and shuttlecraft that linked Earth to distant Nibiru. Picture these luminous beings, their forms more ethereal than their earthbound cousins, moving through crystalline corridors that pulse with otherworldly energy. The cuneiform texts reveal a hierarchy within the divine realm. While the senior Anunnaki governed from Earth's surface, the Igigi controlled the celestial infrastructure. They managed the mining operations from orbital command centers, coordinated the transport of precious gold to the home world, and monitored human development from their sky-bound observatories. Feel the weightless serenity of their domain. Massive space stations rotate slowly against the star-filled void, their surfaces gleaming like polished mirrors. Solar collectors gather energy from our sun, while communication arrays maintain contact with distant Nibiru. The Igigi move through these facilities with practiced grace, their consciousness expanded by constant exposure to cosmic perspectives. The tablets describe growing tensions between the celestial and terrestrial Anunnaki. The Igigi felt isolated in their orbital duties, cut off from the pleasures and diversions available on Earth's surface. They watched enviously as their cousins walked among humans, enjoyed earthly delights, and received worship in magnificent temples. Picture the moment when some Igigi chose to descend. The Book of Enoch, though written millennia later, may preserve memories of this celestial rebellion. These sky-dwellers took human wives, teaching forbidden knowledge to their hybrid offspring. The tablets hint that this unauthorized mixing of bloodlines created the Nephilim, giants who possessed both divine wisdom and earthly desires. Imagine the Great Council convened to address this cosmic crisis. Senior Anunnaki debated the fate of the rebellious Igigi. Some argued for severe punishment, others for understanding and forgiveness. The decision ultimately led to stricter boundaries between divine and human realms, with the Igigi confined to their celestial duties. Rest peacefully as you contemplate their ongoing presence. Modern UFO sightings might represent Igigi surveillance missions. Their advanced craft moving through our atmosphere, monitoring humanity's technological progress. Perhaps they maintain secret bases on the Moon or in Earth's orbital space, continuing their ancient role as watchers and guardians. The Sumerian star maps show remarkable accuracy in depicting celestial mechanics, knowledge that Bronze Age civilizations should and have possessed. The Igigi's orbital perspective would explain these precise observations. They could map planetary movements, track asteroid trajectories, and predict cosmic events with mathematical precision. Feel yourself drifting through their ethereal realm. The Igigi represent consciousness freed from planetary limitations, beings who have transcended the need for physical form yet retain individual identity. Their existence suggests that awareness can evolve beyond biological constraints, that consciousness itself might be the universe's most fundamental property. The tablets describe their role in humanity's spiritual development. While the earthbound Anunnaki focused on genetic and technological advancement, the Igigi influenced human consciousness from above, inspiring dreams, visions, and mystical experiences that expanded our understanding of cosmic realities. Picture the moment when the Igigi will reveal themselves once more. Perhaps when humanity achieves sufficient technological sophistication, or when cosmic cycles align for another great transition. Their orbital stations might decloak, becoming visible to our telescopes and space programs, marking humanity's formal invitation to join the galactic community. Archaeological evidence suggests ancient peoples possessed detailed knowledge of celestial mechanics. Stone circles and megalithic structures align with astronomical phenomena, demonstrating understanding that seems impossible without advanced observational tools. The Igigi's orbital perspective could explain these mysterious achievements. The celestial workers continue their patient vigil, guardians of the space between worlds. They maintain the cosmic infrastructure that connects Earth to the broader universe. Their presence reminds us that consciousness extends far beyond our planetary boundaries, that we are part of a vast community of aware beings scattered throughout the cosmos. Breathe slowly, and let it fade away. Chapter 12. Anu. King of Heaven, close your eyes and journey with me to ancient Sumer, where the greatest of all divine names was whispered with reverence and awe. Feel yourself ascending through layers of cosmic reality, approaching the celestial throne where Anu, the Skyfather, rules over all creation with wisdom spanning eons. Breathe slowly, and imagine the magnificent palace that exists beyond the stars. Anu's domain transcends physical space, a realm of pure consciousness where thought becomes reality. The Mesopotamian tablets describe him as the ultimate authority, the source from which all other Anunnaki derive their power. His word shapes the destiny of worlds. Picture the cosmic hierarchy that flows from Anu's throne. He is the grandfather of gods, father to Enlil and Enki, whose earthly missions carry out his divine will. The cuneiform texts portray him as ancient beyond measure, a being who witnessed the birth of stars, who remembers when the universe was young and malleable. The Sumerian creation myths place Anu at the center of all existence. He emerged from the primordial waters of chaos, bringing order to the cosmic void. His breath became the first winds, his thoughts crystallized into the laws that govern reality. From his celestial perspective, he watches over the great experiment of consciousness unfolding across countless worlds. Feel the profound stillness of his presence. Anu rarely intervenes directly in earthly affairs, preferring to work through his divine children. Yet when he does manifest, the tablets describe phenomena that shake the foundations of reality. Mountains bow before him, oceans part at his command, and the very fabric of space-time bends to accommodate his will. Imagine the rare occasions when Anu visited Earth. The tablets record his ceremonial arrivals, how the greatest ziggurats were constructed specifically to receive him. These towering structures served as landing platforms for his celestial chariot, their stepped sides creating pathways between heaven and earth. The air itself would shimmer with divine energy during his presence. The King of Heaven possesses the ultimate me, those mysterious devices that control the fundamental forces of existence. While lesser Anunnaki might command specific aspects of reality, Anu's me encompass everything: time, space, consciousness, matter, energy. He is the cosmic programmer whose code underlies all manifestation. Rest peacefully as you contemplate his eternal wisdom. Anu understands the vast cycles that govern universal evolution. He sees how civilizations rise and fall, how consciousness expands through countless incarnations, how individual souls journey toward ultimate reunion with the divine source. His patience spans geological ages, his love encompasses all creation. The tablets describe Anu's council chamber, where representatives from across the galaxy gather to discuss cosmic affairs. Beings of light and energy, advanced civilizations from distant star systems, all acknowledge his supreme authority. These councils determine which worlds receive divine intervention, which species are ready for expanded consciousness, which planets will host the next phase of cosmic evolution. Picture the moment when humanity first learned Anu's name. Primitive humans struggling to comprehend the vast intelligence that shaped their existence. They built altars under starlit skies, offering prayers to the Sky Father whose presence they felt but could not fully understand. Their reverence created the first bridges between earthly and celestial consciousness. Archaeological evidence suggests Anu's influence extended throughout the ancient world. Megalithic structures aligned with celestial phenomena, demonstrating knowledge that seems impossible without divine guidance. The precision of these monuments reflects the mathematical perfection that characterizes all of Anu's creations. The Sky Father's greatest gift to humanity may be the spark of consciousness itself. That divine fragment that allows us to contemplate our own existence, to create art and music, to love and dream, to reach toward the stars with yearning hearts. This cosmic inheritance connects us eternally to our celestial origins. Feel yourself floating in the vast silence of space, where Anu's presence permeates every atom, every quantum field, every dimension of reality. He is both the ultimate transcendent being and the intimate consciousness that dwells within every thinking creature. The tablets suggest that achieving reunion with Anu represents the final goal of all spiritual evolution. The King of Heaven's influence continues shaping human development. Through dreams and visions, through moments of inspiration and revelation, through the persistent urge to explore and understand, Anu guides our species toward its cosmic destiny. His patience is infinite, his love unconditional, his wisdom beyond all measure. Modern science discovers laws and principles that the Sumerians attributed to Anu's divine programming. The mathematical constants that govern physics, the elegant equations that describe cosmic evolution, the quantum fields that underlie all matter. Perhaps we are slowly decoding the cosmic software that the Skyfather embedded in reality's foundation. Carry these ancient mysteries gently in your heart. Chapter 13. The Pyramids and the Anunnaki, ancient connections. In this moment, we travel to the land between two rivers, but then drift westward to the golden sands of Egypt, where massive pyramids rise like geometric mountains. Feel yourself standing before these ancient monuments, wondering if the same divine architects who guided Mesopotamian civilization also shaped the land of the pharaohs. Breathe slowly, and imagine the connections flowing between Sumerian ziggurats and Egyptian pyramids. Both cultures emerged simultaneously around 3100 BCE. Both possessed advanced knowledge of astronomy, mathematics, and engineering that seems impossible for Bronze Age civilizations. The tablets suggest the Anunnaki's influence extended far beyond the Fertile Crescent. Picture the Great Pyramid of Giza, its precise alignment with cardinal directions, its internal chambers designed according to complex mathematical ratios. The structure incorporates the golden ratio, pi, and astronomical constants that Bronze Age builders shouldn't have known. Yet Sumerian texts describe the Anunnaki sharing such knowledge with their chosen peoples. The Egyptian creation myths echo Mesopotamian themes. Gods descending from the sky, divine beings teaching civilization to primitive humans, genetic experiments that created hybrid rulers. The pharaohs claimed divine bloodlines, just as Sumerian kings traced their authority to Anunnaki ancestry. Both cultures worshipped similar pantheons under different names. Feel the desert wind carrying whispers of shared secrets. Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom, bears striking resemblance to Enki. Both taught writing, mathematics, and sacred sciences. Ptah, the creator god, mirrors Enlil's role as divine architect. Ra, the sun god, reflects Utu's solar authority. The names changed, but the cosmic hierarchy remained consistent. Imagine the great library of Alexandria, where scholars preserved texts describing Egypt's divine origins. These records spoke of the Nibiru, celestial beings who ruled during the Zep Tepi, the first time, when gods walked openly among mortals. This golden age parallels the Sumerian accounts of direct Anunnaki governance. The pyramids themselves may represent more than tombs. Their internal passages align with specific star systems, particularly Orion, which Egyptians associated with Osiris. The precision suggests these monuments served as astronomical computers, or communication devices designed to maintain contact with distant worlds. Technologies the Anunnaki might have shared with their Egyptian followers. Rest peacefully as you contemplate the evidence. Megalithic blocks weighing hundreds of tons, fitted together with microscopic precision. Construction techniques that modern engineering struggles to replicate. The official timeline claims primitive tools and human labor, yet the results suggest advanced machinery and sophisticated planning. Picture the moment when Anunnaki knowledge flowed from Mesopotamia to Egypt, perhaps through direct contact, or through human intermediaries who carried sacred wisdom westward. The Sumerian flood survivors might have established colonies along the Nile, bringing their divine teachings to a new land ready for civilization. The Egyptian texts describe flying vehicles, gods who traveled through the sky in solar barks, beings who possessed weapons of light and fire. These accounts mirror Sumerian descriptions of Anunnaki technology, suggesting the same advanced beings influenced both cultures, sharing their knowledge according to some cosmic plan. Archaeological anomalies support these connections. The Sphinx shows water erosion patterns suggesting much greater age. Pyramid texts contain astronomical knowledge predating supposed discovery by millennia. Temple alignments demonstrate understanding of precession cycles spanning 26,000 years. Such precision requires either divine guidance or advanced technology. Feel yourself floating above the Giza Plateau, where the three Great Pyramids mirror the constellation Orion. This celestial mapping suggests the monuments serve as earthly representations of cosmic geography, perhaps marking locations significant to the Anunnaki's interstellar navigation, or creating energy grids that facilitate communication across vast distances. The pharaoh's mummification process reflects Anunnaki genetic knowledge, preservation techniques designed to maintain DNA integrity, as if preparing bodies for eventual resurrection using advanced biotechnology. The elaborate burial goods, including golden masks and jewelry, echo humanity's genetic programming to revere the precious metal so vital to Nibiru's survival. Modern discoveries continue revealing Egyptian mysteries. Hidden chambers within pyramids, underground complexes beneath the Sphinx, artifacts that seem impossibly sophisticated for their supposed age. Each revelation strengthens the connection between Egyptian achievements and extraterrestrial intervention. Rest now in this primordial knowledge. Chapter 14. The Nephilim, giants on Earth. Imagine yourself walking among ziggurats and clay tablets, where ancient scribes recorded encounters with beings of immense stature. Feel the desert wind carrying whispers of the Nephilim, those mysterious giants who once walked the earth, offspring of divine beings and mortal women, bridges between heaven and terrestrial realms. Breathe slowly, and picture the moment when some Anunnaki chose to break cosmic law. The tablets describe how certain divine beings, perhaps the rebellious Ajiji, descended from their celestial stations to take human wives. Their unions produced hybrid children of extraordinary size and power, beings who possessed both divine knowledge and earthly desires. The Hebrew texts call them Nephilim, meaning those who fell, or the fallen ones. But Sumerian records provide earlier accounts, describing these giants as possessing incredible strength, advanced intelligence, and lifespans far exceeding normal humans. They became mighty warriors, kings, and teachers, their divine heritage granting them abilities that awed and terrified ordinary mortals. Feel yourself standing before these towering figures. The tablets describe beings 12 to 15 feet tall, with luminous skin that reflected their celestial ancestry. Their eyes held wisdom beyond their years. Their voices carried authority that commanded instant obedience. They moved with fluid grace despite their massive frames, as if gravity affected them differently. Picture the cities where Nephilim ruled. Megalithic structures built to accommodate their enormous stature. Doorways 20 feet high, furniture carved from solid stone, weapons forged from metals unknown to Bronze Age smiths. These giants possessed technologies inherited from their Anunnaki fathers, knowledge that elevated them far above their human subjects. The ancient texts reveal growing tensions. The Nephilim's divine heritage made them proud and rebellious. They refused to acknowledge the authority of pure-blood Anunnaki, establishing independent kingdoms. Some became benevolent rulers who shared knowledge with humans. Others grew tyrannical, using their power to dominate and exploit their subjects. Imagine the Great Council where senior Anunnaki debated the Nephilim problem. These hybrid beings represented an unplanned variable in the cosmic experiment. Their existence blurred the carefully maintained boundaries between divine and human realms. Some argued for integration, others demanded elimination. The decision would reshape Earth's destiny. Rest peacefully as you contemplate their tragic fate. The tablets suggest most Nephilim perished in the Great Flood, their massive bodies unable to survive the cosmic deluge that cleansed the Earth. Only a few survived, perhaps through divine intervention or advanced technology. Their bloodlines continuing in diluted form through subsequent generations. Archaeological evidence hints at their reality. Megalithic ruins requiring enormous strength to construct. Ancient skeletons of unusual size discovered worldwide. Legends from every culture describing giants who once ruled. These persistent accounts suggest the Nephilim were more than mythology, but actual beings whose existence left lasting impressions on human memory. The Book of Enoch preserves detailed accounts of their activities, how they taught forbidden knowledge to humans, metallurgy, warfare, cosmetics, astronomy. Their teachings accelerated human development but also introduced corruption. The divine wisdom became tainted by earthly ambitions, creating technologies used for domination rather than enlightenment. Picture the moment when the last Nephilim realized their doom, standing on mountaintops as floodwaters rose, their divine fathers watching from celestial platforms, unable or unwilling to intervene. The giants' final prayers echoing across the drowning world, pleading for mercy that would not come. Feel the genetic legacy flowing through human bloodlines. Some texts suggest certain families carry diluted Nephilim DNA, explaining unusual height, exceptional abilities, or mysterious knowledge that seems to emerge without learning. Perhaps these genetic memories surface in dreams, visions, or moments of inexplicable insight. The Nephilim represent consciousness caught between worlds, too divine for earth, too earthly for heaven. Their struggle mirrors humanity's own cosmic predicament. We carry divine sparks within mortal frames, yearning for transcendence while bound by physical limitations. Their story becomes our story, a reminder of both our potential and our constraints. Modern discoveries continue revealing giant mysteries. Oversized artifacts, architectural anomalies, genetic variations that suggest ancient hybridization. Each finding adds credibility to accounts once dismissed as pure fantasy. Perhaps the Nephilim's influence extends further into human history than conventional scholarship acknowledges. Let the Sumerian wisdom settle over you. Chapter 15. Anunnaki Genetics. Ancient engineering. Travel across the millennia with me, to the sacred laboratories beneath ancient Eridu, where Enki and Ninmah conducted the most extraordinary experiment in cosmic history. Feel yourself floating through crystalline chambers, witnessing the moment when divine consciousness merged with earthly clay to birth thinking beings. Breathe slowly, and imagine the advanced biotechnology that filled these underground facilities. The tablets describe equipment beyond Bronze Age comprehension, devices that could manipulate the building blocks of life itself. Enki's wisdom guided every procedure, while Ninmah's nurturing hands shaped the genetic templates that would become humanity. Picture the moment of first success. After countless failed attempts, the hybrid awakens, its eyes opening to reveal consciousness that bridges two worlds. The Anunnaki had achieved their goal, creating workers intelligent enough for complex tasks, yet humble enough to serve their divine creators. The term, Lulu Amelu, meant mixed worker, beings combining celestial and terrestrial DNA. The cuneiform texts describe the process with startling scientific accuracy. References to essence and clay that modern geneticists recognize as DNA and biological material. The tablets speak of multiple attempts, early prototypes lacking speech or dying quickly, suggesting systematic experimentation rather than mythological creation. Feel the profound implications of this genetic gift. The Anunnaki didn't just create physical bodies, but consciousness capable of creativity, love, wonder, and spiritual yearning. They embedded within human DNA the capacity for growth, evolution, and eventual reunion with our cosmic origins. We carry their genetic signature in every cell. Imagine the laboratory protocols. Enki selecting the finest genetic material from primitive hominids. Ninmah contributing Anunnaki chromosomes. The delicate process of combining incompatible species, creating viable hybrids that could reproduce and thrive. Each success building toward the final template that would populate the Earth. The tablets reveal growing concerns among the Anunnaki Council. Some worried that these hybrid beings possessed too much divine heritage, that consciousness once awakened could not be contained. Enlil argued for limitations, ways to ensure the created beings remained subservient. But Enki's compassion had already granted them the spark of true awareness. Rest peacefully as you contemplate the genetic memories encoded within us. Deep cellular knowledge that occasionally surfaces in dreams, visions, or moments of inexplicable understanding. Perhaps this explains humanity's persistent myths about golden ages, lost paradises, and divine teachers who promise to return. Picture the moment when the first humans began asking questions. Who are we? Why do we exist? What lies beyond the stars? These inquiries troubled their creators, revealing that the genetic experiment had succeeded beyond expectations. The hybrids possessed not just intelligence, but the divine curiosity that drives all cosmic evolution. Modern genetics supports these ancient accounts. Human DNA contains anomalies that puzzle evolutionary biologists. Missing links in our development, sudden leaps in consciousness that seem impossible through natural selection alone. Perhaps we are discovering scientific evidence for the Anunnaki's genetic engineering. The tablets describe ongoing modifications, updates to human genetics as the Anunnaki refined their creation. Some texts suggest different human populations received varying genetic gifts, explaining diverse capabilities, lifespans, and spiritual sensitivities among ancient peoples. Each group designed for specific purposes in the cosmic plan. Feel yourself connected to this vast genetic web. Every human carries traces of Anunnaki heritage, the divine spark that separates us from purely terrestrial life. This cosmic DNA grants us creativity, consciousness, and the relentless drive to explore, understand, and transcend our current limitations. Archaeological discoveries continue revealing evidence of advanced prehistoric knowledge. Cave paintings depicting complex astronomical phenomena, ancient skulls with unusual characteristics, megalithic structures requiring sophisticated engineering. Perhaps these represent the Anunnaki's ongoing involvement in human development. The genetic experiment's ultimate purpose remains mysterious. Were we created merely as workers, or as eventual partners in cosmic evolution? The tablets suggest both possibilities, that humanity's destiny depends on our choices, our wisdom, and our ability to honor the divine heritage flowing through our veins. Picture the great reunion that awaits. When human consciousness evolves sufficiently, when we master the technologies our creators once wielded, when we prove worthy of our cosmic inheritance. Perhaps then the Anunnaki will return, not as gods to be worshipped, but as family welcoming us home. Feel these celestial secrets becoming part of you. Chapter 16. Marduk. The rebel god let yourself drift to the dawn of humanity. But now witness the rise of a divine prince whose ambition would reshape the cosmic order. Feel yourself standing in the magnificent city of Babylon, where Marduk, son of wise Enki, challenged the established hierarchy and claimed dominion over both gods and mortals. Breathe slowly, and imagine the towering ziggurat of Esagila, Marduk's temple that pierces the desert sky like a golden spear. The Babylonian tablets describe him as the most beautiful of the Anunnaki, possessed of his father's wisdom but driven by an ambition that would not be contained. His eyes burned with visions of a new cosmic order. Picture the moment when Marduk first questioned the ancient ways. Why should Enlil rule Earth when Enki's bloodline possessed superior wisdom? Why should humanity remain forever subservient when they carried divine genetics? The young god's revolutionary ideas spread like wildfire through the celestial courts, dividing the Anunnaki into opposing factions. The Enuma Elish chronicles Marduk's cosmic battle against Tiamat, the primordial chaos dragon. This epic struggle represents more than mythology, but the overthrow of the old order. Marduk's victory established him as king of the gods, ruler of a new age where divine authority would be earned through merit rather than inherited through birthright. Feel the energy radiating from Babylon's golden walls. Marduk transformed this city into the jewel of Mesopotamia. Its hanging gardens defied natural law. Its astronomical observatories mapped the heavens with unprecedented precision. The gods' advanced knowledge created wonders that amazed visitors from across the known world. Imagine Marduk's relationship with humanity. Unlike his elders who maintained distance from their creations, he walked openly among mortals, teaching them advanced sciences, sharing technologies that elevated their civilizations. The tablets describe him as humanity's champion, the divine advocate who argued for our expanded rights and freedoms. The Babylonian king Hammurabi claimed to receive his famous law code directly from Marduk. These legal principles established justice, protected the weak, and created the foundation for civilized society. Perhaps the rebel god was implementing his vision of cosmic order, where divine wisdom served to uplift rather than dominate. Rest peacefully as you contemplate Marduk's cosmic rebellion. His challenge to established authority mirrors humanity's own struggle for independence. The young god's refusal to accept limitations, his drive to create something better, reflects the divine spark he helped nurture within human consciousness. Picture the Great Council where senior Anunnaki debated Marduk's growing influence. Some viewed him as a dangerous revolutionary, others as a necessary catalyst for cosmic evolution. His father Enki supported his son's vision, while Enlil saw only chaos and disorder. The divine family's conflict would echo through human history. The tablets hint at advanced technologies Marduk brought to Earth, weapons that harnessed cosmic forces, vehicles that moved faster than thought, communication systems that spanned galaxies. Perhaps he was preparing humanity for eventual integration into a broader galactic community, sharing tools we would need for cosmic citizenship. Archaeological evidence supports Marduk's historical influence. Babylon's ruins reveal engineering marvels that seem impossible for Bronze Age construction. Mathematical principles carved in stone that predate their supposed discovery. Astronomical alignments demonstrating knowledge of cosmic cycles spanning millennia. Feel yourself floating above the ancient city, where Marduk's ziggurat catches starlight like a beacon. The rebel god's legacy extends far beyond Mesopotamia. His revolutionary ideals influenced cultures worldwide. The concept that authority must be earned, that wisdom should serve all beings, that consciousness itself is sacred and inviolable. The mystery of Marduk's ultimate fate remains unsolved. Some tablets suggest he was exiled for his rebellious activities, others that he ascended to even higher cosmic responsibilities. Perhaps he continues working behind the scenes, guiding humanity's evolution toward the independence he always championed. Modern discoveries in genetics and consciousness research might represent Marduk's ongoing influence. Scientific breakthroughs that expand human potential, technologies that connect us across vast distances, the growing recognition that consciousness itself might be the universe's fundamental property. All reflecting the rebel god's vision of cosmic democracy. Picture the moment when Marduk's prophecies will be fulfilled, when humanity achieves the wisdom and technology to stand as equals among the stars, when we transcend the limitations our creators once imposed, when consciousness itself becomes the currency of cosmic civilization. Perhaps then the rebel god's true purpose will be revealed. Allow the Anunnaki to accompany you in dreams. Chapter 17. The Return of the Anunnaki. Prophecies and theories journey with me now to the time of the gods, but cast your consciousness forward through the mists of time, to witness the prophesied return of our cosmic creators. Feel yourself floating between present and future, where ancient promises meet modern possibilities, and the Anunnaki prepare to reveal themselves once more. Breathe deeply, and imagine the celestial calculations that govern their orbital return. If Nibiru follows its 3,600-year cycle, and the last close approach occurred around 600 BCE, then the next convergence awaits us in the distant future. Picture this massive world approaching from the outer darkness, its cities of crystal and gold gleaming like a second sun. The Mesopotamian tablets speak of signs that will herald their return. Humanity achieving mastery over the atom, traveling beyond Earth's atmosphere, decoding the secrets of genetic engineering. Perhaps we are witnessing these prophetic markers, our species rapidly approaching the technological threshold our creators established. Feel the anticipation building across our world, Modern UFO sightings might represent advanced scouts. Anunnaki observers monitoring our progress from hidden bases. Their craft moving through our skies like luminous messengers, preparing for the moment when formal contact becomes appropriate, when humanity proves ready for cosmic citizenship. Picture the great reunion that awaits. Not conquest or judgment, but recognition and welcome. The tablets suggest the Anunnaki's return will mark humanity's graduation, our acceptance into the galactic community they helped establish. We will stand as partners rather than subjects, consciousness meeting consciousness across the vast reaches of space. The ancient prophecies describe a time of choosing. When the Anunnaki return, humanity will face fundamental decisions about our future. Some will embrace our cosmic heritage, others will cling to terrestrial limitations. The choice will determine whether we ascend to our full potential or remain bound by planetary constraints. Imagine the technologies they will share: healing methods that repair genetic damage, energy systems that eliminate scarcity, transportation that makes the stars accessible, communication devices that connect consciousness across galaxies. The gifts they withheld during our childhood will become available as we reach cosmic maturity. Rest peacefully as you contemplate the transformation ahead. The Anunnaki's return will not end human independence, but enhance it. We will retain our unique perspective, our creative spark, our capacity for growth and wonder. These qualities make us valuable partners in the ongoing cosmic experiment. The tablets hint at humanity's special role in galactic civilization. Our hybrid nature grants us abilities that pure blood species lack. We bridge multiple worlds, multiple ways of being. Our consciousness spans both earthly experience and celestial aspiration. This unique position makes us natural ambassadors and mediators. Picture the moment of first contact, perhaps occurring simultaneously worldwide. Anunnaki craft descending to every major city. Their occupants emerging with familiar faces, recognizable despite millennia of separation. The genetic memories encoded in our DNA will awaken, flooding consciousness with recognition and joy. Archaeological discoveries continue preparing us for this reunion. Ancient sites revealing advanced technologies. Genetic research uncovering anomalies in human DNA. Astronomical observations detecting objects in the outer solar system. Each finding builds the foundation for accepting our cosmic origins. Feel yourself standing at the threshold of this new age. The Anunnaki's return will trigger rapid evolution in human consciousness. Dormant genetic programs will activate, expanding our mental capabilities, enhancing our spiritual sensitivity, connecting us directly to the cosmic web of aware beings. The transformation will not be uniform. Some humans carry more Anunnaki genetics than others. These individuals may serve as bridges, helping their fellow humans adapt to expanded reality. Their enhanced abilities will guide the species through the transition from planetary to galactic consciousness. Imagine the cities we will build together. Structures that harmonize with natural forces. Technologies that enhance rather than exploit. Communities that honor both individual creativity and collective wisdom. The Anunnaki's advanced knowledge combined with human innovation will create wonders beyond current imagination. The ancient tablets promise that this reunion has always been planned, that humanity's entire history represents preparation for cosmic citizenship. Our struggles and achievements, our art and science, our capacity for love and growth, all developing the qualities we will need as galactic partners. Picture yourself floating peacefully among the stars, where consciousness flows freely between worlds, where the artificial boundaries between species dissolve into recognition of universal kinship. The Anunnaki's return will mark not an ending, but a beginning, the next chapter in consciousness evolution. Breathe, slowly, and let it fade away. Chapter 18. Sumerian Symbols. Language of the gods. Close your eyes and journey with me to ancient Sumer, where humanity first learned to capture thoughts in clay. Feel yourself entering the sacred scribal schools, where young students practiced the wedge-shaped marks that would preserve divine wisdom for millennia. These cuneiform symbols represent more than writing. They are the language the Anunnaki used to communicate cosmic truths. Breathe slowly, and imagine the moment when Enki first taught humans to write. The tablets describe how the wise god demonstrated pressing reed styluses into soft clay, creating triangular impressions that could represent sounds, ideas, and complex concepts. This gift transformed humanity from an oral culture to one capable of preserving knowledge across generations. Picture the evolution of these sacred symbols. Beginning as simple pictographs, images that directly represented objects. A bird symbol for bird, a water sign for water. But gradually growing more sophisticated, developing the ability to capture abstract concepts, emotions, and the names of divine beings whose essence transcended physical form. The cuneiform system contained over 600 distinct signs, each carrying multiple meanings depending on context. Feel the complexity of this divine language, where a single symbol might represent a sound, a word, or an entire concept. The scribes who mastered this system became the keepers of cosmic knowledge, intermediaries between earthly and celestial realms. Imagine yourself in the great library of Ashurbanipal, surrounded by thousands of clay tablets, their surfaces covered with neat rows of wedge-shaped impressions. Each mark pressed by human hands, yet carrying the wisdom of the gods. The air fills with the earthy scent of baked clay, mixed with the sweet smoke of oil lamps that illuminated countless nights of transcription. The tablets reveal that certain symbols held special power. The sign for God appeared as a star, connecting divine beings to celestial bodies. The symbol for heaven resembled a dome, suggesting the Anunnaki's understanding of cosmic architecture. These weren't arbitrary marks, but representations of actual cosmic relationships. Rest peacefully as you contemplate the mathematical precision embedded in cuneiform. The Sumerians used a base 60 numbering system, which still governs our measurement of time and angles. Their symbols for numbers incorporated geometric principles that reflect universal constants. Perhaps the Anunnaki encoded cosmic laws directly into the structure of human language. Picture the moment when scribes first recorded the names of the gods. Anu, Enlil, Enki, Inanna. Each divine name required specific combinations of wedge marks. The act of writing these symbols was itself a form of prayer, a way of invoking divine presence through the careful arrangement of sacred geometry. The tablets describe how certain symbols could only be written by initiated priests. Sacred signs that carried too much power for ordinary scribes to handle. These restricted characters might have represented advanced technologies, genetic codes, or cosmic coordinates that the Anunnaki wanted to keep from general knowledge. Feel the connection between ancient symbols and modern discoveries. Computer code uses binary language, ones and zeros arranged in meaningful patterns. Perhaps cuneiform represents an earlier version of information technology, a way of encoding complex data in durable physical media. The clay tablets serving as humanity's first hard drives. Archaeological evidence suggests the writing system spread rapidly across the ancient world. Adapted by Akkadians, Babylonians, Assyrians, and other cultures. Each group modified the symbols to fit their language, yet the core system remained recognizable. This widespread adoption hints at divine guidance, a cosmic plan to ensure knowledge preservation. Imagine the scribal ceremonies where new students received their reed styluses. Sacred rituals that transformed ordinary humans into keepers of divine wisdom. The tablets describe how scribes underwent purification, fasting, and meditation before being allowed to write the most sacred texts. Their role transcended mere record-keeping, they became channels for cosmic communication. The cuneiform symbols appear in astronomical contexts. Star charts, planetary observations, mathematical calculations that demonstrate impossible precision for Bronze Age civilizations. Perhaps these weren't human discoveries, but direct transmissions from Anunnaki observers who possessed advanced understanding of cosmic mechanics. Picture the moment when the last cuneiform tablet was inscribed, the ancient knowledge slowly fading as new writing systems emerged. Yet the symbols retain their power. Modern scholars who study them report strange dreams, visions, and insights that seem to flow directly from the clay. As if the divine language continues transmitting across millennia. Feel yourself connected to this primordial communication system. Every time we write, we participate in the gift Enki gave humanity. The ability to preserve thoughts beyond the limitations of memory, to share knowledge across vast distances of time and space. The cuneiform symbols remind us that consciousness itself seeks expression, permanence, and connection with other aware being. Gs. Carry these ancient mysteries gently in your heart. Chapter 19. Archaeological evidence. Mysterious artifacts. In this moment, we travel to the land between two rivers, but now through the eyes of modern archaeologists who uncover mysteries that challenge conventional history. Feel yourself standing in excavation sites where ancient artifacts emerge from desert sands, objects that seem impossibly advanced for their supposed age. Evidence that supports the Anunnaki accounts. Breathe slowly, and imagine the moment when researchers first discovered the Baghdad battery. A clay jar containing copper cylinders and iron rods, dating to 250 BCE, yet capable of generating electrical current. The design suggests knowledge of electrochemical principles that weren't officially discovered until the 18th century. Perhaps remnants of Anunnaki technology preserved in earthen vessels. Picture the mysterious Sumerian cylinder seals. These small stone objects carved with intricate scenes depicting beings descending from the sky, wearing what appear to be helmets and breathing apparatus. The precision of these miniature artworks requires tools and techniques that Bronze Age craftsmen shouldn't have possessed. Yet thousands exist, each telling stories of divine encounters. The Dendera light reliefs in Egypt show priests operating devices that remarkably resemble modern electrical equipment. Bulb-shaped objects connected to cable-like conduits, with figures manipulating what appear to be switches and controls. These carvings suggest the ancients possessed illumination technology far beyond oil lamps and torches. Feel yourself examining the precision-cut stones of Puma Punku in Bolivia. Massive blocks fitted together with tolerances measured in fractions of millimeters. The cutting marks indicate diamond-tipped tools or laser technology, yet conventional archaeology dates the site to 600 CE. The mathematical precision reflects knowledge that the tablets attribute to Anunnaki engineering. Imagine the moment when the Antikythera mechanism was discovered. This ancient Greek device contains gear systems so sophisticated that similar technology didn't reappear until the 14th century. It accurately predicted astronomical events, tracked planetary movements, and calculated eclipses. The complexity suggests access to advanced mathematical knowledge. Rest peacefully as you contemplate the Nazca lines, massive geoglyphs visible only from the air, created by people who supposedly had no flight capability. The precision and scale suggest aerial surveying, perhaps guidance from beings who could observe from above. The patterns align with astronomical phenomena in ways that demonstrate advanced cosmic knowledge. The Sumerian king list presents another archaeological puzzle. It records rulers with impossibly long lifespans, some reigning for tens of thousands of years. Modern scholars dismiss these as mythological, yet the list accurately preserves historical information about later periods. Perhaps the early entries describe actual Anunnaki rulers whose lifespans exceeded human understanding. Picture the advanced metallurgy found in ancient sites. The Iron Pillar of Delhi, dating to 400 CE, shows no signs of rust after 1,600 years. Its composition includes elements and techniques that modern science struggles to replicate. Similar anomalous metals appear in Sumerian artifacts, suggesting access to advanced materials science. Archaeological excavations continue revealing underground complexes. Derinkuyu in Turkey extends 18 levels deep, accommodating thousands of people, with sophisticated ventilation systems and defensive features. The tablets describe the Anunnaki constructing subterranean facilities, Perhaps these represent their hidden installations. Feel the mystery of the Dropa stones. Disc-shaped objects covered with tiny hieroglyphs, allegedly describing a crash landing of extraterrestrial visitors 12,000 years ago. While their authenticity remains debated, they echo themes found throughout Sumerian literature: sky beings arriving in flying vehicles, sharing knowledge with primitive humans. The precision of ancient astronomical alignments continues amazing researchers. Stonehenge, the pyramids, Angkor Wat, all demonstrate knowledge of celestial mechanics that required centuries of observation or access to advanced computational methods. The Anunnaki's cosmic perspective could explain these impossible achievements. Modern genetic research reveals anomalies in human DNA, missing evolutionary links, sudden leaps in consciousness development, genetic markers that suggest artificial modification. Perhaps we're discovering scientific evidence for the Anunnaki's genetic engineering, proof that our origins involve more than natural evolution. Picture the ongoing discoveries waiting beneath desert sands. Ground-penetrating radar reveals vast underground structures. Satellite imagery shows geometric patterns invisible from ground level. Each new technology unveils more evidence that ancient civilizations possessed capabilities beyond current historical models. The artifacts speak of a forgotten chapter in human development, a time when advanced beings shared their knowledge, when technology and spirituality merged, when consciousness itself was recognized as the universe's most precious resource. These mysterious objects remind us that history holds secrets we're only beginning to understand. Rest now in this primordial knowledge. Chapter 20. The Anunnaki Legacy. Truth or myth? Imagine yourself walking among ziggurats and clay tablets, as our journey through Sumerian mysteries draws to a peaceful close. Feel the weight of all we have explored together, the stories of sky gods and genetic experiments, of cosmic cycles and divine interventions. Now rest in contemplation of what these accounts truly mean for human consciousness. Breathe slowly, and consider the profound questions that emerge from these ancient narratives. Are the Anunnaki literal beings who visited Earth millennia ago, or archetypal symbols representing humanity's deepest spiritual truths? Perhaps the answer transcends simple categories, existing in that liminal space where myth and reality merge into something greater than either alone. Picture the remarkable consistency of these accounts across cultures. From Mesopotamian tablets to Hebrew scriptures, from Hindu Vedas to Native American legends. The theme of sky beings teaching primitive humans appears worldwide. This universal pattern suggests either shared historical experience, or fundamental structures within human consciousness that generate similar stories. The scientific evidence presents intriguing possibilities. Genetic anomalies that puzzle evolutionary biologists. Archaeological discoveries that challenge conventional timelines. Astronomical knowledge preserved in ancient texts that seems impossible for Bronze Age civilizations. Yet mainstream science remains cautious, requiring extraordinary proof for extraordinary claims. Feel yourself floating between skepticism and wonder. The rational mind demands empirical evidence, while the intuitive heart recognizes deeper truths that transcend material proof. Perhaps the Anunnaki stories serve multiple functions, preserving historical memories while also mapping the archetypal journey of consciousness awakening to its cosmic origins. Imagine the psychological impact of these narratives. They suggest humanity possesses divine heritage, that we are more than random evolutionary accidents. Whether literally true or symbolically profound, these stories awaken something within us, a sense of cosmic belonging, of purpose that extends beyond terrestrial concerns. The tablets describe humanity's creation as intentional, designed, meaningful. This perspective offers profound comfort in an age when science often portrays consciousness as mere biochemical accident. The Anunnaki legacy reminds us that awareness itself might be the universe's most precious achievement, worthy of reverence and careful cultivation. Rest peacefully as you contemplate the transformative power of these ancient accounts. They challenge us to expand our conception of reality, to consider possibilities beyond current scientific paradigms? Whether the Anunnaki were physical beings or archetypal forces, their stories continue shaping human consciousness, inspiring us to reach toward the stars. Picture the ongoing influence of Sumerian wisdom. Every time we gaze at the night sky and wonder about our place in the cosmos, every time we feel the urge to create, to explore, to transcend our limitations, we participate in the legacy these ancient stories describe. The divine spark they speak of burns within every human heart. The mystery may be more important than any definitive answer. The Anunnaki accounts preserve humanity's sense of cosmic connection, our intuition that consciousness extends far beyond individual brains, that we are part of something vast and meaningful. These stories keep alive our capacity for wonder, our willingness to consider extraordinary possibilities. Feel the gentle wisdom flowing from these primordial narratives. They remind us that truth often exists in multiple dimensions: historical, psychological, spiritual, archetypal. The Anunnaki legacy encompasses all these levels, offering different gifts to different seekers, always pointing toward the fundamental mystery of consciousness itself. Modern discoveries in quantum physics echo ancient Sumerian insights. The universe appears more like consciousness than mechanism. Reality emerges from observation, from awareness interacting with possibility. Perhaps the tablets preserved not just historical accounts, but fundamental principles about the nature of existence itself. The Anunnaki stories ultimately return us to ourselves, to the recognition that we carry within us something divine, something cosmic, something that yearns for reunion with its source. Whether this represents genetic memory of actual encounters, or archetypal wisdom encoded in consciousness itself, the result remains the same: awakening to our true nature. Picture yourself as both seeker and discovery, questioner and answer. The ancient tablets suggest that consciousness exploring itself is the universe's primary activity. We are not separate from the cosmic mystery, but expressions of it. Each moment of awareness, each act of love, each creative impulse participates in the ongoing divine experiment. Let the Anunnaki wisdom settle over you. These stories remind us that we are never truly alone. Whether guided by literal sky gods or archetypal forces, consciousness itself supports our journey toward awakening. The ancient promise remains that someday we will remember our cosmic origins and take our place among the stars. Let the Sumerian wisdom settle over you. Closing asterisk. And now, as our journey through the 20 mysteries of ancient Sumer draws to its gentle close, feel yourself floating peacefully above the timeless desert, where ziggurat shadows stretch across golden sand, and the whispers of the Anunnaki still echo through eternity. We have traveled together through extraordinary realms of possibility, beginning with the Fertile Crescent where civilization first bloomed, exploring the cosmic hierarchy of Anu, Enlil, and wise Enki. We witnessed the creation of humanity in genetic laboratories beneath Eridu, where divine essence merged with earthly clay to birth conscious beings capable of wonder, love, and endless curiosity. Breathe deeply, and let these ancient memories settle gently within you. We discovered Inanna, the fierce queen of heaven whose dual nature embodied both creation and destruction. We stood beside faithful Ziusudra as divine warnings saved life itself from cosmic deluge. We walked among the Ajiji in their celestial stations, those skybound workers who maintained the bridges between worlds. Feel your body sinking deeper into perfect relaxation, as we recall the mysterious Nibiru, that wandering planet whose orbital dance brings the Anunnaki home every 3,600 years. We explored the great mining operations that brought these cosmic beings to Earth, their desperate need for gold to heal their dying world, and how this need led to humanity's creation. The golden thread of divine wisdom weaves through every mystery we explored. From Marduk's cosmic rebellion against established order, to the Nephilim giants who walked among mortals. Each story reveals consciousness seeking to know itself, to grow, to transcend limitations and reach toward infinite possibility. Let your breathing become slower, deeper, more peaceful, as you remember the clay tablets that preserve these extraordinary accounts. Cuneiform symbols pressed by human hands yet carrying the wisdom of the gods. Zecharia Sitchin's patient translations that opened these ancient mysteries to modern minds. Each discovery adding pieces to humanity's cosmic puzzle. We contemplated the archaeological evidence that supports these remarkable narratives. Mysterious artifacts that seem impossibly advanced for their time. Megalithic structures requiring knowledge and tools that Bronze Age peoples shouldn't have possessed. Genetic anomalies in human DNA that suggest artificial modification rather than natural evolution. Feel peace flowing through every cell of your being, as you reflect on the profound implications of these ancient accounts. Whether literal history or archetypal wisdom, the Anunnaki stories remind us that consciousness is the universe's most precious achievement. That awareness itself might be the cosmic experiment we are all participating in. The tablets speak of humanity's special role in galactic civilization. Our hybrid nature grants us unique perspectives. We bridge earthly experience with celestial aspiration, carry divine sparks within mortal frames. This sacred inheritance connects us eternally to our cosmic origins, makes us partners rather than subjects in the ongoing dance of creation. Let your mind drift peacefully, like clouds across a star-filled sky. The Anunnaki legacy transcends questions of historical accuracy. These stories awaken something profound within human consciousness. A recognition of our cosmic belonging, our divine potential, our eternal connection to forces greater than individual existence. We explored prophecies of their return, when Nibiru's orbit again brings them close to Earth. Perhaps that reunion will mark humanity's graduation, our acceptance into the galactic community they helped establish. Or perhaps the return happens within consciousness itself, as we awaken to the divine heritage flowing through our veins. Feel yourself floating in the vast silence between stars, where time moves differently, where ancient and future merge into eternal now. The Sumerian mysteries remind us that consciousness exploring itself is the universe's primary activity. Each moment of awareness, each act of love, each creative impulse participates in the cosmic awakening. Whether the Anunnaki were literal extraterrestrial visitors or archetypal forces within the collective unconscious, their stories continue shaping human development. They preserve our sense of wonder, our willingness to consider extraordinary possibilities, our intuition that reality extends far beyond material appearances. Let these ancient wisdoms become part of your dreams. The civilization that gave us the wheel, the written word, the mathematical principles that still govern our understanding of time and space. Their knowledge came from somewhere, whether divine inspiration, extraterrestrial contact, or access to consciousness states we are only beginning to rediscover. The cuneiform tablets describe technologies that seem magical to Bronze Age observers, yet perfectly logical from advanced scientific perspectives. Flying vehicles, genetic manipulation, communication across vast distances, energy weapons, healing methods that repair DNA itself. Perhaps we are rediscovering abilities our ancestors once possessed. Feel your consciousness expanding beyond the boundaries of individual identity, becoming one with the cosmic story we have explored together. The Anunnaki accounts ultimately return us to ourselves, to the recognition that we carry within us something divine, something that yearns for reunion with its cosmic source. Rest now in this profound knowing, that you are part of an extraordinary experiment in consciousness, connected to beings of wisdom and compassion who have guided humanity's development across millennia. Whether they dwell among distant stars or in the depths of archetypal reality, their influence continues flowing through every human heart that looks up at the night sky and wonders. The ancient promise remains, that someday we will remember our cosmic origins completely, transcend the limitations that currently bind us, and take our place among the community of conscious beings that spans the galaxy. Until then, we carry their gifts within us, creativity, consciousness, and the eternal capacity for growth. Let these mysteries become your gentle companions through the night. The Sumerian tablets preserve not just historical accounts, but maps of consciousness evolution, guides for the journey from primitive awareness to cosmic citizenship. Their wisdom flows through dreams, visions, and moments of inspiration that connect us to our divine heritage. Feel yourself becoming one with the eternal dance of consciousness, aware that these ancient stories continue within you, that you are both seeker and discovery, questioner and answer. Each breath connects you to the cosmic breath that animates all existence. Each heartbeat participates in the universal rhythm that the Sumerians knew as the pulse of the gods. If this journey through Sumerian mysteries brought you peace, consider subscribing to our channel and sharing these ancient secrets with others who love the enigmas of the past. More Anunnaki mysteries await you here when you return. Sleep now in the knowledge that you are loved, guided, and eternally connected to the cosmic forces that shape reality itself. The Anunnaki watch over your dreams, as consciousness explores its own infinite nature through your peaceful rest. Rest, and remember, you are stardust dreaming of home. Good night.